Big Z Reviews. I Am Mother is a new science fiction film that just premiered recently on Netflix, and it's directed by Grant Sputor. And I found a lot to really love in this film. I mean, there's definitely some parts where I wish it would have gone further into the intelligent science fiction and even have more twists than it already does have. But at the same time, I really enjoyed it.
The path will not be easy. The world outside is lifeless. But I made you into the woman that you are so that we could do this together. Mother?
So if you don't follow the YouTube channel called Tested with Adam Savage, like he actually did a behind the scenes sort of video with the special effects studio that worked on this film and really showed that like the mother character is actually, he's played by Luke Hawker. Like it's voiced by Rose Byrne, but like it's actually a guy in a suit, and it works so well. Like you can't, it looks real. Like I love that they made an actual suit and had this, do it, all this stuff in it. If you want more background info on how that works, it's really interesting. The video on YouTube, I'll link it in the information below me. And this is also, it mainly only stars two people really, and that's Clara Ruggard as daughter and Hilary Swank as a woman. And it's just basically there's some sort of post-apocalyptic event that ended the world, that killed all the humans, and now there's this robot in this facility that has all of these human fetuses in storage, and she is trying to raise this one and then learn how to become a mother so she can like raise all the other humans too and bring back humans into the world. And I like that they have like a montage of her growing up, as becoming older and older, and then you get really to the meat of the movie where it's mainly just where she's like around 18, something like that, like high school age. And that I like that they have some time to actually get to, so it feels like they have a relationship and feels like that they are mother and daughter. And but then things start happening, like stuff starts to go wrong with the facility, and there's like eventually there's a woman that's outside wanting to come in, and she lets her in and finds out that what mother has been telling her about the world, that there's some deadly virus out there, it might not be true, and something else is going on. And maybe that the apocalyptic event was an AI takeover that killed all the humans. And there's so much kind of interesting stuff that they did do with it. But I kept wishing that there was even more. Because, I mean, I like, the two humans actually are acting. They both do good. And I like that, a lot of things they do, but like you see that like there's a lot of ideas in this film, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had to like pull back on some of them to make more of a standard idea, because I kept thinking there was more going to happen that didn't happen, but what did happen was interesting. Like I liked what they did, and it has a lot of drama, has almost a little bit of a horror aspect. And it's a little bit almost of a mystery too. You find out, well, what's going on? Like, is Mother evil? Is Hilary Swank evil? Is who's right, who's wrong? Like, what's going on with this world? And I liked a lot of what they did. But I will kind of spoil a little bit from now on. So fair warning, I'm gonna spoil stuff. But I want to talk a little bit about what it does and what I wish it had done, what it didn't do. First off, though, one thing I kind of forgot to mention is that even though there wasn't a virus in this world, she's kind of like a bubble baby, a bubble girl, that she's been living in this completely sterilized environment for her whole life. She would have no antibodies, and if she meets a person from the outside world, she's luckily very dangerous to her. Like they act like, oh, there's nothing to be worried about. Well, there is something to be worried about. She could easily kill me if you have no built-up antibodies. But that's fine. It's neither here nor there. But for actual spoilers, like at a certain point, Like, I thought that they were gonna do something like that Hilary Swank was another of the children that mother had raised, but then how somehow escaped and was now coming back to maybe try to save the new daughter or something. It felt like there's something like maybe because of who they picked, but the two girls, they look a lot alike. I thought maybe like it can be something that there's some sort of clone thing or something, but it doesn't do that. But it did do is just that she is living in a shipping crate by the ocean, and it just doesn't really quite make sense. Like, she had a dog, and it's like, but how did she get here? How is she alive? Like, there's backstory that there were a bunch of humans were living in a mine, but it doesn't quite make sense. But like, and it was interesting because like then, if you know the big twist of the film is you find out that Mother is an artificial intelligence that humans created and is powering all of the androids that are out. They killed all the humans and everything. It's like kind of like I Am Legion sort of thing, like and it's interesting because like she's trying to raise they have a little bit of I wish they had more conversation between mother and daughter, because at a certain point daughter comes back and they let him in, and you think they're going to have a conversation, but then it becomes more of an action part. But I wish they earlier on, like the mother was trying to teach her about philosophy and Kant and the idea of ethics, and I wish they would have brought that back in and may talk about why Mother did what she did, the ethics of that. It was maybe saying that in the humanity had I calculated that humanity had 150 more years left before they would destroy the world and themselves. So I just accelerated the process, and I gathered resources so that I could rebuild the human species and rebuild this world and make everything better. And maybe if I can educate the first new humans, they can be better. And like they kind of had the idea, but I wish they would have done more with it. And also, it was interesting because Hilary Swank, she carries around a lot of religious iconography. Like, she has like a handmade cross, and in her storage unit, in her shipping container, she has a bunch of statues of the Holy Mary and stuff. So, like, it feels like, obviously the robot is not teaching daughter about religion. Like, there's about, education and not include any religion. Although it's funny, they did use clips of the Tonight Show with the older one. And it would have been interesting if they had done some more of that even. Because, like, the idea that, if somehow that like all of the books of humanity were burned and we lost, and 1,000 years later, like, our religion would be completely different. There would be no... Like, if everyone forgot about religion, then it came back 1,000 years later, all the religions we have now would not exist. But if we let it build back all of the different sciences, like, they would have come back because science, is evidence-based. So, like, I mean, if they've done something with that, or it feels like there was a lot of themes in the film, and it's stuff that you could take from it, but I'm not sure if it wanted to take it like that. I'm not sure. I also thought there was going to be more of a twist, like maybe that this whole thing was a test. And it kind of feels like it still is a test, but like they didn't hit that fact on the audience. Like, they didn't hit it as hard as I wanted them to. But like maybe that this, because things don't quite work out when you find out that Mother is in control of all of the androids, that means that she shot this woman. And that means that she knew about the woman. So that means she knew that the woman was coming to this facility, and she let her. So like, it must have been a test of daughter to see if she would let them in, maybe if she would be able to heal her, or if she would go out down to the real world with her, or if she'd stay and try to raise this new family. Like, I think it was all a test. But like, I wish they would have hit on that more, because it's such an interesting idea that this is all, that she was completely manufactured by Mother, that this whole experience, it was all a test. Everything in the movie is all a test. And I like that idea, and I think they did it, but they didn't quite. I'm not sure if they quite showed it as much as they should have. But still, I did really enjoy the movie. Like, I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10. Like, I would recommend it. It is a little slow at times, but I really enjoyed it. And I just wish they would have been, they wouldn't have pulled any punches on more of like, being more interesting, being more like experimental with it. Like some of the different ideas it has. But I still recommend it. Thanks for watching. Check out the play from my head and subscribe to me at Z over there. Thanks. This has been a Big Z movie review. Thanks for watching.